All right, what's going on out there, folks? Rooster here in Tennessee. Show you what we're working with here. A little Uniden 66, our new official bench radio. Texas Star, one transistor, one pill over there. Single 2290 in it. And in the middle, this guy is a Fatboy 4 pill, Standard HG2879. Now, the rules of it apply a little bit different than the C. If you saw the C video I put up, I said 15.5 volts. These, you want to keep them below 15, in my humble opinion. 14.5 will be ideal. Still keep them below 1.3 SWR. Obviously, strive for a 1.0. Not quite as much drive on these. Some people have told me put over 200 watts into the C's. I'm still like 180, 190 is where I want to be on them. These, somewhere between 100 and 150. That's my opinion. You run them harder if you want to. That's completely up to you. If it were mine, 100 to 150 watts is where I would be. Now, you're probably thinking, a while back I said I probably wasn't going to sell any of the standard HGs, that I was going to stick to the C's. My reason thinking behind that was, if there's a superior product out there, I want to sell it. I don't want to sell its little brother or its little sister or whatever. And make no mistake about it, the HG2879C is a superior transistor. It's 1.5 times the transistor that this standard HG is. They take more drive, they take more voltage, they do a little bit more power. Well, we'll see about the power here in a second. We're going to test the power output, but everything that the HG2879 does, the C does a little better. That being said, there is a price difference. I think the 2879Cs are about $42, $43, and I think the standard HG is $29. Cost of the amp also goes up. The C boxes are a bit more expensive than the regular HG boxes. I will probably, I've said this before, I will probably, if I do standard HGs, there'll be 2 pills and 4 pills. I just want to stick to that. I wouldn't have got these in, but I had some people requesting, a little bit better prices than what I gave on the C boxes. So they said they didn't care. They just assume have regular HGs. Didn't matter to them. So doesn't matter to them, doesn't matter to me. This will be a fine running amp as long as you're careful. Stay within the parameters that I just mentioned a minute ago. And another thing, don't get too long-winded, okay? Some people ain't gonna like to hear that. They're used to living in the age of Toshiba transistors where you could hammer on them. They'd get hot, they'd cool down, they'd lose power, they'd get their power back like nothing was wrong. These things right here do not handle the heat like a Toshiba transistor does. I'm not afraid to tell you that. Don't sit there and have a one-sided conversation with one of these. If you're sitting there talking to your buddy and you're having 1.5 minute key downs, and every time you unkey he says, yeah, 10-4, well, you probably need to find another buddy, because if y'all keep on at that rate, you're going to blow your shit up and he's going to still be sitting there talking. They're not made for broadcast quality, guys. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. Excuse me. Intermittent use transistor amps like this are great. But you ain't gonna walk in a radio station and they're sitting there bumping down a 32 pill. I mean, it's just not gonna happen. They're not made to just sit there and stand on all day long. Key downs, intermittent talking, regular conversation. If you're talking on them, let off of them as long as you talk on them. You stay keyed down 30 seconds. Try to stay unkeyed at least 15 seconds. You gotta have some sense using them. Are these regular HGs as good as Toshiba's? No, not by a long shot. I said the C's are pretty comparable. Still think Toshiba's are probably the superior transistor, but Toshiba's are dead. They're a thing of the past. If you guys want to go out there and buy them for $200 a piece, be my guest. But, they're a thing of the past, so we got to work with what we got. Use your head when you're running these, and you won't have any problems out of them. That being said, we got our 1 pill hooked up. That's what we're going to test it with. I can get my finger out off the camera there. And our little unit down here. And we'll show you what it's doing. 500 watt slug. Average power, audio, 500 watt slug. So audio, a real stiff audio, about 60 watts. Average, let's go to peak. Audio. This thing's pretty hot, about 140. If we had a different slug in there, like a 250, it would probably show like 125 or something, but 500 watt slug showing about 140. Now let's cut it back to about 1 or 2 o'clock because that'll give us a reference point for the overall test. Audio. We're still on peak. Audio. About 100 watts, 110. Now let's go to average. Audio. Let's see, what is that? Audio. What, 25 watts average or so? Audio, 30, 25, something like that. So that's what we're working with. Turning off my imaginary peak kit there that wasn't turned on. That's what we're working with our little Texas Star. Now I've got this 1,000 watt slug. I'm gonna put it in. There we go. And we'll just come over here to our Texas Star. We're gonna turn it wide open because we've already got a reference, 60 watts average, 140 peak on the 500 watt slug. Realistically, probably 125 peak or so. But that's what we're gonna kick into this thing. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Now you notice we're not hitting this thing as hard as I was hitting the 2879C. Will it take 175, 180 watts? Probably. It probably would. It'd be okay. But I'm recommending 100 watts to 125, maybe 150. That's what I'm recommending to drive into one of these guys. Okay, that being said, we've got our variable wide open on our Texas Star. Let's go ahead and throw a key down here on the 1,000 watt slug. About 80 watts. Audio. 400 watts average, 390, with 60 watts average going in. Now let's go to peak. Audio test, 1, 2, audio, about 900 watts. Audio test, 1, 2, 3, audio, 1, 2, audio, 1, 2, getting down. Audio, 1, 2, audio, break. 900 watts peak with, was 140 watts peak going in. Now what we're going to do, we're going to dial this guy back. We may have to adjust the variable on our radio because it probably don't have much dead key. Yeah, we're going to turn that up. Okay. Let's see. And with that variable down, we're having to run our dead key on our radio wide open. That's okay. Still on peak. Audio. Now that's like 100 watts even going in. Audio test. This thing should run forever right there. 700 watts, 700 watts, 700 watts, 700 watts, 700 watts, 700 watts, 700 watts. Audio getting down. Now, let's turn our peak kit off. Let's go to average. I think this was about 30 watts average or so, 25, 30 watts average. So I'm not expecting big average numbers. I'm going to guess 275 to 300. Let's see how close we get. Audio. 200 watts average. Audio. Now, what we're going to do, just going to roll it back down. Get in the ballpark there. Go wide open again. Turn the dead key up. Audio. Back to 400. Audio. 400 watts average. Go back to peak. audio 140 in, 140 in, 140 in, audio, and about 900 out. Audio. That's 90 amp supply, 14.5 volts. And last thing I'm gonna recommend for the day, something people forget about sometimes. If you have been talking on your amp a long time, I should have put this in the other video, but if you have been talking on your amp a long time and you go to quit talking or whatever, let it run for a little while before you turn it off. Let the fan cool it down and stuff. I've seen people do that before. They get their amp nice and hot and then they don't think nothing about it. They just turn it off. They're done talking, so they turn it off. Next morning they get up and they're blowing transistors and everything else. So after you stay on it for a while, this thing's cool as a cucumber. I mean, I know we didn't like drive the piss out of it or stand on it or anything, but it's nice and cool. But if you do get in there and you know, get it hot, just let it run a while before you turn it off, and should be good to go, guys. All right, got a few of these in stock. If you're interested, let me know. Shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Just a reminder, we only put, according to the 500 watt slug, we only put 140 watts peak in. Got about 900 watts out. 60 watts average going in. Got us about 400 watts average out. About 390 to 400. So still good performing amp. Going to be a little bit cheaper for you. And like I said, not quite the highest, not as high quality as the 2879C, but still a good running amp if you be careful and watch what you're doing. You guys have a good one out there. Rooster in Tennessee. I'll see you. Bye.